Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at the Center for Public Integrity, what to do if your drinking water contains arsenic. This is some good information. So Renee Thompson couldn't figure out why she was so sick all the time. She had chest pains, nausea, headaches. She'd be so tired she could barely walk. When she stayed at home, she actually got sicker. So why was she getting sicker? You can see her at her kitchen sink. Water from the faucet contains arsenic, used for washing, and a second faucet provides filtered water free of toxin for drinking and cooking. So was it arsenic? Thompson went to 13 doctors near her home in Ortonville, Michigan, before one finally decided to test her for arsenic. Her levels were in what's considered the normal range, but Edward Adler told her that many of her symptoms matched the profile of someone poisoned by the toxin. I called my husband that day and said, "Please bring home water because we can't drink the water in my house anymore until we know this for sure." Thompson recalls, "We then checked the water in the house. We found we had high levels of arsenic in our water." Soon Thompson was feeling much better, and that was 20 years ago. Today she and her two daughters say their health has improved dramatically since they switched to filtered water. Now that's a great story, and it's good that she's actually feeling better, but the lesson here is millions of other Americans have no idea if they're regularly consuming arsenic or other heavy metals. And arsenic is an element found in the Earth's crust, and it finds its way into food, water, soil, and air. In 2000, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency considered tightening the drinking water standard for arsenic. Then at 50 parts per billion, then to as low as 3 parts per billion. So it's changed quite a bit over time. Because of fears about the cost, the agency ultimately set the standard at 10 parts per billion, though it said there was essentially no safe level of the toxin, just like lead. Some scientists believe there are harmful effects from arsenic below the drinking water standard. These include bladder, lung, liver, and skin cancer, heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. And recent studies have suggested that arsenic may cause IQ deficits in children and may be harmful to fetal development. So we can see what's going on here. So that was good she recovered. But realize you or somebody else you know could be in the same situation. As we know, arsenic is part of the Earth's crust. It's commonly found in groundwater. The EPA has a level for 5 parts per billion, and then they lowered it to 10 parts per billion. They'd initially proposed a limit of 5 parts per billion, but faced criticism and be too costly to actually target. Now we can see arsenic is a known cause of a variety of cancers linked to heart, strokes, diabetes, and recent research has found an association between arsenic below 10 parts per billion and IQ deficits. And this map is based on arsenic readings from 45,000 wells collected by the United States Geological Survey going back 4 decades. So we can see here what's going on here. We can see the parts per billion, 0 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 9, and 10 to 49. And there's quite a lot of concentration we can see right here. So what do? The easiest way to curb your exposure to arsenic is paying attention to your drinking water. Federal law requires water companies to disclose the amount of arsenic in tap water, and you can go to the water company's website to find out that information. Now, if you drink water from a private well, it's unlikely you've ever had to test for arsenic. More than 40 million Americans drink from such wells. Of those, the U.S. Geological Survey estimates that as many as 3 million consume water that wouldn't meet the EPA standard. That's still a huge amount. Arsenic is especially common throughout the United States. Some states have hotspots, such as Michigan's Thumb region, Northwest Detroit, Maine as well. And the Maine Center for Disease Control estimates about 80,000 people in the state drink water from private wells. 9,000 drink water that exceeds 5 parts per billion. When I look at our public water supply data, I don't see a lot of arsenic exposure even in the 5 to 10 range. But I know I've got half the population of this state on the private wells. Still haven't even tested their well. I know I have arsenic levels that are way above the EPA limit. So we can see that's an issue here. Now, if you're drinking distilled water, you can cut the arsenic level in your body by half by this time tomorrow. So the issue is, yes, it can be mitigated, and it's great that this individual and her family was able to do so, but it still is a problem, especially private wells, and private wells not being tested. So if you have a well, or even if you're in a urban center, it's always a good idea to have your water periodically tested for arsenic.